All right, guys, welcome to topic 5 on equations. This is our notes packet, and I'm going to walk you through solving some one-step equations. Don't forget to put your name and your class period on it so you don't lose it, because we're going to keep using it. All right, so jumping ahead to our first page here. We're talking about one-step equations. So reminder, equations are math sentences which shows two equal values. So if we look at that first one, m plus 13 equals 34, it's showing you that what's on the left, m plus 13, is equal to what's on the right, which is 34. When we solve equations, we have to use inverse operations. So reminder, the inverse of addition is subtraction, and the inverse of subtraction is addition. And then the same with multiplication. So the inverse of multiplication is division, and the inverse of division is multiplication. When we solve one-step equations, our goal is to always get the variable isolated by itself on one side. So let's jump into the first one. We need to get the m by itself. So to get m by itself, right now it's saying add 13. So to get rid of that, we need to subtract 13 from both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and write in minus 13 on the left, minus 13 on the right. The equal sign is what separates my equation into those two sides. I don't always draw that line, but you can if it helps you. 13 minus 13 goes away. I'm left with m on the left-hand side equals 21. And that would be my answer for the first one. Okay, jumping into the second one, I have y minus 6 equals 28. I need to do the inverse of subtracting 6, which would be to add 6 on both sides. So I'm going to do that. Those cancel, and I'm left with y equals 34. Okay, I want you to pause the video, and I want you to try the two underneath of those, the addition and the subtraction. And then when you're ready, you can unpause and check your answers with mine. Okay, here we go. Subtract 9 on both sides. We'll get a final answer of x equals 4. Check to make sure you got the same thing, and if not, check your work. All right, and the next one, I'm going to add 17 on both sides. Those cancel. Y equals 57. That's my answer. All right, moving right along, we have the multiplication and division problem. So 12x, when the 12 is right next to the variable x, that means it's being multiplied. And when I solve it, I need to do the inverse. So I need to divide both sides by 12. I'm going to go ahead and write that down. Divide by 12, divide by 12. 12 divided by 12 is 1. So on the left-hand side, I'm left with 1x equals, and then 156 divided by 12 gives me 13. And then when I write this, I don't need that 1x. So you can get in the habit of just writing x equals 13. And that's my answer. Our next problem says b divided by 3 equals 9. I need to solve this by doing the inverse of dividing by 3. So I need to multiply both sides by 3. A 3 in the numerator and a 3 in the denominator is equivalent to 1. So that would be like writing 1b. I know I don't need to write the 1, so I can just write it as b. And then I solve the right-hand side, and I get b equals 27. Again, go ahead and pause the video, try the two underneath, and then check your answers. As you see, I'm dividing by -6, and I get x equals -20. Check to make sure you got the same thing. And then for the last one, I multiply both sides by 3, and I get y equals 24. All right, that concludes the solving of one-step equations. Underneath, we'll see some more details on checking our solutions. So the nice thing about equations is we can always go back and check our answer. So we have x plus 3 equals 7. You'll notice they subtract 3 from both sides and they get x equals 4. To check that, I'm going to take the 4 and plug it back in for x. So just like they do down here, 4 plus 3 equals 7. Yep, that's true. So since that is true, I know that my answer is correct. That's true for all of the ones up here too. You can check your answer. You can plug the variable back in to the equation and make sure that it's a true statement. All right, last little bit of notes. This time we're going to write the equation. So it says you went to the mall with some money M, you spent $26, you left the mall with $51. How much money did you bring to the mall? Okay, so we're starting with M, and I spent, so I'm subtracting 26, and I left the mall with a total of 51. So M minus 26 equals 51. That would be my equation, and now I need to solve it by doing the inverse of subtracting 26, which would be to add 26 to both sides. Because I want the M by itself. So I add 26 on the left, add 26 on the right, those cancel, and I'm left with M equals 77. So how much money did I bring with me to the mall? I brought $77. Okay, next one. The quotient of a number n and negative 5 is 40. What is the number? Quotient means division. So I'm going to do n divided by negative 5 equals 40. I want the n by itself. So to get it by itself, I need to multiply both sides by negative 5. When I do that, those cancel, and I'm left with n equals negative 200. And that was my number. Okay, I want you to pause and try number 3. When you're ready to come back, we do T, the temperature, it dropped 16, so minus 16 equals negative 3. I'm going to solve it, and I get T equals 13. So the original temperature was 13 degrees. Notice how I'm labeling my answers. Number 4, the cost C for 5 tickets is $110. How much does each ticket cost? So 5 times C, or 5C, equals 110. I solve it by dividing both sides by 5. When I do that, I get an answer of C equals 22. So each ticket costs $22. And last but not least, a school band needs new uniforms. So far, they raised $2,344 towards a goal of $5,000. How much more money, M, does the band need to raise? So I have M plus 2,344 equals 5,000. And then I'm going to go ahead and solve it. And I get M equals, I'm going to borrow. And my final answer is the band needs to raise $2,656 more dollars. All right, and that concludes our solving of one-step equations and then writing and solving one-step equations. For the remainder of class, I want you to work on this worksheet, solving one step, writing